Sometimes, the doorbell camera catches something that is better never to see.
Hey.
It is really hard to explain what was captured on the surveillance camera on this door. At the moment when the man opened the door and was about to go inside, something seemed to push him from behind, but there was no one nearby. But there was definitely a push, and even a sound from the collision. Having reviewed the recording carefully, we can see that a second before that, a silhouette of a ghost seemed to appear behind the man. Who knows, maybe someone from the other world decided to play a joke on him. Sometimes, not only strange people or possible ghosts get into the door lock chamber, but also something no less unexpected. A powerful explosion illuminated everything around. It turned out to be a medical plane crash. The pilot of which lost control and unfortunately fell in the next block from this house. At first glance, there is nothing unusual in this video, but if you look closely, you can see some kind of smoke flashing in the air, and its outline is very similar to a witch on a broom. This is too fast for a cloud or smoke to fly, so who knows, maybe this really is some kind of witch flying to the Sabbath. You may not believe in ghosts and otherworldly creatures, but how can you explain this? A street lamp moves several meters on its own. It happens so fast. I have no other explanation for this. I don't even know how to comment on this. You can see it all for yourself. The camera captured the passage of a ghost, whose outline is very similar to a person. Someone's lost soul is walking along the night streets. At first, it may seem like some kind of optical illusion, but no, this thing not only flew up to the door, but also rang the bell several times. What is it? A poltergeist? An ordinary evening on an ordinary street of private houses. There is no one on the street at all, or is it? Take a closer look at what the doorbell camera captured. It seems there is not so much no one on this street. According to the owner of the house, this ghostly man appeared on her camera lens more than once, and every time at night. Who or what is this? And why does the camera only see him at night? Whatever the case, I wouldn't want to walk with him. Another ghost who likes to walk the streets at night. After watching such videos, I feel less and less like going out at night. Something very, very strange was caught on camera. Some strange silhouettes are walking along the road. Whatever it is, it looks scary, and it's good that no people were passing by on their way. A strange light anomaly was captured by a surveillance camera. It's hard to say what it was, but this video definitely gives you goosebumps. And each video like this makes you think that we are definitely not alone in this world. What are the chances of seeing alligators through a peephole? Very low, unless you live in Florida. These two alligators came to the house in the middle of the night and rang the doorbell. It seems they had serious intentions of going inside. This is exactly what a camera is for. Imagine if the owner opened the door and they managed to get inside. It seems these guys were prepared for the camera to record and covered their faces when they tried to break into the house to rob. They took turns kicking the door, but then the unexpected happened. The robber, who had a gun in his hands, accidentally fired and almost shot himself and his friend. I think they made the right decision when they just ran away. Only a reaction saved a man from being bitten by a poisonous snake. As he was walking towards the door, she was right there and was spotted by a surveillance camera. Who knows what would have happened if she had managed to bite? Let this video serve as proof that you should always be on guard. This girl behaves very strangely and looks the same. Her behavior also raises many questions. Why is she looking so intently into the peephole? What is she looking for here? And why did she come to this house? But it's good that the owners had a camera on the door, and they understood that they should not open it under any circumstances. What would your reaction be if you saw such a guy in front of your door through the peephole? He was dressed strangely, had a mask on his face so that the camera would not capture his face. And in the end, he even took a shovel and seemed ready to attack the door. But at the last moment, he changed his mind. Luckily for the residents of the house, he walked away.
Steven here.
You got the wrong house.
You should definitely have a security camera to avoid meeting such crazy people.
I knew this was a ripoff.
Just look at his appearance and listen to what he says.
Okay, what, are you looking for a Steven?
No, I am Steven. I'm looking for, Fifi.
Yeah, you got the wrong house.
So, you don't want to have sex tonight?
Sir, my husband's in the living room with the gun.
Huh. Okay.
Have a good
Understood.
night.
If this had happened on Halloween, probably no one would have paid any attention to it.
I am the box demon.
But when on a normal day someone comes to your house dressed in a strange costume and claims to be the box demon, is it scary?
Leave this box.
Who knows what this person has in mind? That's why your door should always be closed and your camera should always be on.
I am the box demon. I believe this box is a gift for you.
In the middle of the night, an elderly woman approached the front door of a house. At first glance, she seemed like an ordinary grandmother. What could possibly be dangerous about that? But as she got closer, it became clear she was holding a knife. What is an elderly woman doing wandering the streets at such an hour, approaching strangers' homes and carrying a knife? I doubt anyone would open the door for her. At 2 a.m., on an utterly deserted and empty street, the doorbell camera captured something, or rather someone. A translucent silhouette, eerily human-like, wandered across the yard and disappeared into the night. Take a closer look. It really does resemble a person. Perhaps this time, a ghost was truly caught on camera. This next story doesn't come with a video, just a chilling photo captured by a surveillance camera. And yet it's enough to send shivers down your spine. Look closely. It's almost impossible to tell if this is a man or a woman. But the most unsettling part isn't that. Look at the shape and spacing of the eyes on this person's face. It's deeply unnatural. After this encounter, the homeowners contacted the police. But to this day, the identity of the individual remains unknown. This footage, captured by a doorbell camera, shows the evacuation of a family from Santa Clarita, Florida. The reason? A massive wildfire that engulfed the entire city within minutes. There's little to add. Thankfully, this family managed to evacuate safely, along with 40,000 other residents of the city. If you think terrifying events only happen at night, here's one that took place in broad daylight at 2 p.m. A man in a dark hoodie approached a house and rang the doorbell multiple times. By coincidence, the homeowner was wearing headphones and didn't hear it, unfortunately for him. Believing no one was home, the man called his accomplice and began kicking the door repeatedly. He kept at it again and again. Who knows what might have happened next, if not for a passerby who noticed the scene and shouted at them. Startled, the two men fled the area. I'm sure absolutely no one would want to see this on their doorstep. A man in a mask actively approaching your door. But not just approaching, he's carrying a piece of duct tape, which he uses to cover your door camera. According to the homeowner, he was already preparing for self-defense. But then, something unexpected happened. The duct tape peeled off, revealing the surveillance camera. This startled the unwelcome visitor, who decided to flee. This incident occurred on September 10, 2018. The man who entered someone else's yard wasn't just drunk. He was armed with a rifle and wearing a bulletproof vest. Some have speculated that this could have been tied to the anniversary of the 9/11 attacks, which was set to occur the next day. However, the homeowner, who was home alone with her children, wasn't concerned with theories at the time. The woman immediately called the police and her husband, who was at work. Thankfully, law enforcement acted swiftly, arriving at the scene and apprehending the man. He was later charged with aggravated assault. From stories that are scary but have clear explanations, we now turn to a tale that seems harmless at first glance, but carries an air of mystery. A home surveillance camera captured the silhouette of a person walking on the sidewalk across the street. What's so unusual about that, you ask? The homeowner felt inexplicably uneasy about the silhouette. She asked her neighbor to check the surveillance footage to get a better look at who this might have been. Strangely, the neighbor's camera, which captured the same area at the exact same time, did not show any silhouette at all. How can something like this even be explained? In this clip, showing nothing, or rather no one, was captured on the surveillance camera. But the story is in the sound. The homeowner received an alert from their doorbell camera app about a visitor. Surprised as no one seemed to be there, they initially dismissed it as a glitch. However, upon reviewing the recording with sound, they were horrified. The audio revealed a voice unlike anything human. It sounded more like the voice of a creature. One theory suggests that this might have been a poltergeist attempting to communicate. Another theory points to a Halloween prank, as the incident occurred on the eve of the holiday. Not only humans, but animals sometimes find themselves caught on surveillance cameras. But while spotting a cat or dog would be heartwarming and ordinary, no one wants to see a snake on their doorknob. A snake dangled from the door and began wrapping itself around the handle, only to slip and then start climbing up the door again. The homeowner watched the entire incident through her phone app and waited patiently for the snake to leave the porch. This incident happened in Texas, home to Texas rat snakes, so it's likely a natural occurrence rather than something extraordinary, but still far from pleasant. How would you feel if someone tried to bite the camera on your doorbell? Yes, you heard that right. A young woman appeared on the porch of a house, and her appearance was, to say the least, unsettling. Her behavior became even stranger when she reacted nervously to a passing car. Its noise seemed to scare her away. But then she came back and attempted to bite the door camera. Even if this was meant to be a prank, her behavior was bizarre and far from ordinary. Late at night, a man in torn clothing holding a hammer and a pickaxe. This unsettling individual was captured by a surveillance camera as he wandered around the property, seemingly searching for something. Perhaps he was looking for house keys. Even passing cars didn't deter him as he slowly examined the area. Fortunately for the homeowners, the man eventually left empty-handed, and thankfully didn't use his hammer to break into the house. Sometimes, a doorbell camera captures thefts. In this case, the theft of the doorbell itself. A man simply walked up and cut it off using garden shears. Who knows? Maybe he has something worse in mind and wanted to eliminate a potential threat. When two thugs kick your door down, the first thing to do is call the police, and that's exactly what the homeowner did. However, it was the security camera that came to her aid faster than the cops. When the uninvited guests noticed they were being recorded, they tried to break the camera and then fled. It's in situations like these that the importance of having a surveillance camera in every home becomes crystal clear. Sometimes, the door lock camera catches people you'd rather not see. And sometimes, it's not just people, but something else. This story took place in North Carolina in 2021. A quiet street was shaken by a strange event. The Bryan family was at home when their 13-year-old son went out for an evening walk near the house with his dog. Just a few seconds after he stepped outside, The door lock camera captured a suspicious car pulling up right across from their house. Doesn't that seem odd? It almost feels like the driver was waiting for someone to appear on the street. A few seconds later, the man got out of his car and started talking to the boy, who seemed frozen in fear and surprise.
Hi. You live here already, Papa? Huh? Oh, you live here already?
Luckily, the boy's father arrived just in time to help and asked the stranger what he was doing there and why he was speaking to his son.
What you got to ask my son?
The stranger mumbled something odd about being interested in airplane noise in the area, which sounded strange.
Oh, I was wondering about the airplane noise.
Talking to my son and he ain't got no adult out here. Now, that's kind of creepy.
Then he got back in his car and left. No one has seen him since, but for the young boy, this experience is something he'll probably never forget. In the next story, a doorbell camera captured a horrific moment. The incident happened on July 31st in the city of Sydney, Ohio.
Stop it, Allie.
It was an ordinary day, and Alice and her mother had just returned home from a walk. Shortly afterward, a strange man approached their door.
I'm doing it. Wait. He's leaving. Hey. He's coming back.
The man rang the doorbell several times, but it was clear no one wanted to let him in.
Nope, I'm calling. James, she doesn't want to talk to you.
Realizing this, he decided to use force and began trying to break down the door. This man was 22-year-old James Rail, Alice's ex-boyfriend from a relationship that had ended years ago. As he started breaking in, Alice called 911.
Hello. There's some guy on my front porch, and he won't leave, and he's got his hands behind his back, and he won't answer me on the ring.
Alice told the police that just the day before, he had left her a strange voicemail saying he wanted to see her again.
Hi, Allie. It's James. I just wanted to reach out to you because I just wanted to see how you're doing. It's been a while since I've talked to you, and I feel like it, I don't know what I feel. I do know that I do want to talk to you, though. I do. It'd be nice. It'd be sweet.
At that moment, Alice's father, realizing the man was truly trying to break in, shouted for him to leave. And then, 3 gunshots were heard. After the incident, neighbors called the police, and the footage from the doorbell camera played a crucial role in helping the cops piece together the full story.
You have the gun. The people inside here shot this guy here was trying to break into their house. The guy's dead. He died.
When I mentioned earlier that a doorbell camera can capture not only people, but also something else, I wasn't joking. On July 16, 2019, a doorbell camera at a home in Houston recorded something hard to explain. A silhouette resembling a young girl in white, strolling across the lawn. It looks genuinely eerie. What is it? An optical illusion? Or perhaps a real ghost? I think we may never get an answer to that question. Another strange figure was caught on a doorbell camera. At first glance, there's nothing unusual. A clear silhouette of a man walking down the street at night. But as soon as he reaches a parked car, he appears to walk right through it. How is that possible? After this incident, the homeowner reviewed all the footage, but the mysterious man's silhouette never appeared again. A man licking a doorbell isn't exactly something you want to see through your peephole, but that's exactly what happened. No one was home at the time, and believe it or not, the man continued licking the doorbell for a full 3 hours, as confirmed by the camera footage. Then, he simply disappeared without a trace. Just take a look at this man. In the middle of the night, he decided he could walk up to a random house and ask for $50.
Shit, I need about 50, man. Shit. I've been out here, goddamn me, waiting to see what I come up with, goddamn me. I said, let me go cheap out. Goddamn me.
Thanks to the doorbell camera, the homeowner got a clear look at him, and it was obvious from his eyes that he was under the influence.
Shit, man, when you off this shit, it ain't never too goddamn late. This shit don't sleep.
I'm sure this isn't the kind of visitor anyone wants to see on their doorstep late at night. But thanks to the doorbell camera, any potential consequences were avoided.
That goddamn drop, man. Come on out here and talk to me, man. Man, I'm in the bed, man. Man, shit. Hey.
What you're about to see is hard to confidently call human. The closer this figure came to the door, the more unsettling it became. Its walk was anything but normal, and its fingers were unnaturally long, adding to its disturbing appearance. All of its movements and mannerisms were off, not quite human, and when its face got close to the camera, you could see it had no mouth or nose. Just as suddenly as it appeared, it turned and ran off into the night. What was it? I hope it was just a good Halloween costume, but something tells me that might not be the case. Albuquerque, New Mexico. The incident happened late at night while the homeowner was asleep. A woman with a bloodied, bruised face approached the porch, convinced it was her house, and tried unlocking the door with a key. When the key didn't fit, she proceeded to try all the keys she had. Her appearance clearly suggested she'd been drinking and had gotten into some kind of trouble. The homeowner only saw the doorbell camera footage the next day. Neither he nor any of his neighbors recognized the woman, and they all hope she doesn't return to their street. Not only people, but animals too get caught on doorbell cameras. What happened to this cat is still hard to believe. 2 cats were lying on a porch when one of them got up and walked toward the street, and then it happened. Where did the cat go? Did it just vanish? Even its friend, who stayed lying on the porch, seems to have no answers. What would your reaction be if you saw a girl in the peephole asking for help and begging to be let inside at 4:30 in the morning? At first glance, it really looks like she's in danger and needs assistance. But why is she hiding behind the wall? especially when a police car with its lights flashing is driving by just then. This video was posted online by a user named Shadow, who luckily was asleep at the time, sparing him the tough choice of whether or not to open the door for her. But even from this short clip, it's clear there are too many questions in this story. In the end, the girl walked away into the unknown after the police car left the street. I think many of you are familiar with the character Dobby from the Harry Potter series, but what if you encountered him in real life? Yes, it sounds strange, I agree, but something resembling the house elf Dobby was caught on surveillance cameras at a private home. The silhouette of this creature closely resembles Dobby. Its legs, arms, head shape, and even its walk. It all looks truly eerie. This video remains unanswered, and we can only speculate how this creature ended up in the Muggle world. Seeing something like this in your peephole on any day other than Halloween is definitely unsettling. This character showed up on the porch of a private home at 3 a.m. on an ordinary summer night. The most interesting part is that the creature just stood on the porch and didn't do anything. To me, it resembles an alien. At least its head does. What do you think about that? The next story took place in a small town in Kansas. Local residents claimed that a group of people dressed as evil clowns was going from house to house in an attempt to find victims. One of these clowns was caught on a doorbell camera. He was clearly trying to get into the house while holding something that looked like a large knife. His appearance was truly horrifying. It was only when he noticed the doorbell camera that he decided to leave. Who knows what might have happened next if the camera hadn't been there? Sometimes, what seems harmless at first glance is anything but. A young man rang the doorbell to offer the homeowner some candy. What could possibly go wrong? But at the moment she opened the door, the young man's friends, who had been waiting around the corner, burst into the house to commit a robbery. Once inside, they grabbed a few items and fled. It turned out they had been trying to pull the same trick on other residents in the neighborhood, but the fame of these robbers spread quickly among the locals, making it impossible for them to try again. I think after such an incident, all the residents in the area should invest in a doorbell camera. Before you are photos of Stephen Groves and Stephen Prasad. What do these two men have in common? The fact is that 56-year-old Groves stalked Prasad for 2 years. Groves was caught on the surveillance cameras of Stephen Prasad's home multiple times. He attempted to open doors and even tried to break the security camera. On several occasions, he tried to cut the wires leading to the camera. Once, he even colored the lens of the camera with a marker. If you think that's the craziest thing he did, you're mistaken. One evening, he returned with a hammer to smash the camera. Naturally, Prasad reported the stalking to the police, and Stephen Groves was charged 3 times. He was placed under house arrest and required to pay restitution for the damage he caused. That could have been the end of the story, but strangely, this didn't stop the stalker. He continued his attempts. Afterward, Prasad's niece contacted the police again, leading to Groves being fitted with an electronic ankle monitor for a year. As well as being required to attend a 20-week rehabilitation program to prevent this from happening again. For me, it remains a mystery why the police don't take more action in this situation, and why they don't try to help Prasad and his family more effectively. One evening in South Carolina, a truly strange and terrifying event occurred on the porch of a girl named Savannah. The young man's appearance clearly indicated that something was very wrong. He was covered in blood, his clothing was partially torn, and even through the peephole, it was obvious that his pupils indicated he was under the influence of some substances. Approaching the door, he began trying to break it down, throwing his body against it repeatedly. During one of these attempts, he was thrown back and toppled over the railing. The frightened homeowner called the police, who ultimately took the young man away, but his fate remains unknown. Strange things are happening more and more frequently. To protect yourself, consider installing a doorbell camera for added security.